We're told the function c of x equals 20x plus 6,000 represents the cost to produce x number of items. Then we're told to find a, the average cost function, c of x, and b, how many items should be produced so that the average cost is less than $60. So let's start with a. Average cost is simply going to be c of x. So we'll call it lowercase c of x as we're told to, equals c of x, big C, over x. So that means c of x, lowercase x, is going to equal 20x plus 6,000 divided by x. So that's part A. With part B, how many items should be produced so that the average cost is less than $60? Well, c of x, we already know, equals 20x plus 6,000 divided by x, and we want to know when is that going to be less than 60. So how do we go about solving this? Well, the same way we have every problem throughout this section. Subtract 60 from both sides, and we get 20x plus 6,000 is over x minus 60 is less than 0. So we have everything over on the left-hand side. Now 60, we can put that over the common denominator by having 20x plus 6,000 minus, well, what is it missing? It's missing, let's multiply this by x over x. And then we're going to have minus 60x, and that's all over x. And that's less than 0. So negative 40x plus 6,000 over x is less than 0. So where are our critical points? Well, our 0 is going to be when negative 40x plus 6,000 equals 0. So negative 40x equals negative 6,000. Divide both sides by negative 40. We get x equals, well, if we cancel the zeros, that's going to be, and the negatives, that's going to be 600 over 4, which equals 300 over 2, which equals 150. So that's our first critical point. And then undefined, it's undefined when x equals 0. So there are our critical points. How do we solve from there? Well, we want to know when is the cost less than $60. So we'll set up our critical points. So it's undefined at x equals 0. It's 0 at x equals 150. So we can't have negative number of products. So really this is just from 0 to 150 and from 150 to infinity. So now we'll test a point in our interval. So with 0, 150, we can just use 1. Negative 40 times 1 is negative 40. That gives us 5,960 divided by 1, which is just 5,960. So that's obviously not going to be less than 0. So we can try this point over here. Let's try 151. So x equals 151. Negative 40 times 151 plus 6,000 divided by 151. So negative 40 times 151, that's going to be negative 6,040 plus 6,000 divided by 151. So that equals negative 40 over 151. So it's going to be negative, which shows us that anything in this interval from 150 units, not including, but from 150 units to infinitely many units, the cost is going to be less than $60. The average cost is going to be less than $60 because this inequality we set up is less than 0. So we're going to have to say that more than 150 items must be produced for average cost to be less than $60.